What's up, guys? Ricky here. Do you love Most Valuable Podcasts? And are you like myself where things that you like, you just have to let people know because they've got to be on your t-shirt at all times? If you do, you're in luck because we got Most Valuable Podcast t-shirts. You've probably seen myself, Dave, Mark, Sean, Brandon. You might have seen us wearing these t-shirts in videos. The good thing is now you can get your hands on one too. How do you do so? First off, send us an email, mostvaluablepodcast@gmail.com. Give us your name, your size, your address. We will then send you an invoice through Square. That's how you'll pay for it, $22 per shirt. And then after we get the money, we will send you a great Most Valuable Podcast t-shirt for you to wear so you can tell everybody that you love listening to Most Valuable Podcasts. So go check it out. The directions are also in the description. What are you waiting for? We got the shirts just for you. But Mark, let's move on into our last topic and what we are doing. We do it every week. However, we only have two more. This is the last week before the Super Bowl pick, the week of the Super Bowl. We've got the AFC Championship game, 2:05 Central kick. We've got the NFC Championship game, 5:40 Central kick. We'll start with the AFC. The Jaguars, the Patriots. Winner goes to the Super Bowl in Minneapolis. New England, a 7.5-point favorite. What are you thinking for this game, and who you got?
Here's what I'm thinking for this game. We just were talking about Blake Bortles. We're talking about that defense. We're talking about Leonard
Teenage
Fournette.
Mutant Ninja Bortles.
That's what I've heard. I've been wrong on a lot of things this year, and one of them, I think, apparently is Jacksonville and Blake Bortles. So I'm buying it, man. Okay. I'm all in at this point. I said, you know what? I didn't expect you to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought, no way. It's not going to happen. I did expect that you'd beat Buffalo, but it was Buffalo.
Let's be completely honest. Tyrod Taylor did get injured. He would have a better shot of winning that game late than Nate Peterman.
And I didn't even expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to be here, but this is a great defense. This is an amazing run game. If Blake Bortles can be Blake Bortles against the Steelers, which I think he can because the Patriots' defense is not amazing. Mm-hmm. Now, they can get turnovers. They will take the ball away.
Well, that's the thing. The two things that this game comes down to in my eyes is, number one, how often can that Jags defense get to Tom Brady? And number two, can Jacksonville play a completely clean game and not turn over the ball once?
They need to kind of go back a couple years, watch that, Peyton Manning's Denver Broncos. Watch the year they won the Super Bowl when that defense beat up on Tom Brady all game long.
Just hit him every time he dropped back, it was hitting him in the backfield.
That's what it's going to take.
Just clocked him.
They have to constantly be getting on him, and that's the flip side for the Patriots. They need to keep Tom Brady clean. They need to keep him healthy. Right now, apparently his hand's a little banged up.
The best tweet I saw about that is, so Adam Schefter reports it. The first tweet is a GIF from The Office where it's like, everyone stay calm, everyone stay calm.
Right?
He is okay.
I was listening to the radio this morning, not sports radio, just normal radio, FM. Not that sports can't be on FM, but and the guy who's doing just the news update is like, and this would change a lot of things. Apparently Tom Brady's hand hurts right now. And it's like, that would change a lot of things. Good point. But no, Tom Brady's going to be out there for sure. Tom Brady can pick apart most defenses, but I think he will have some trouble with the Jacksonville's defense. I expect a low-scoring game. But
you going to give me a score?
I'll give you a score, sure. I'm going to go with like a 17, 16. I expect a lot of field goals.
1-point game.
A lot of field goals.
A 1-point game. That would be an exciting one. I am on the fence.
And Jacksonville, by the way.
I'm on the fence on this one. When I watch this game, I'm going to be rooting for Jacksonville.
Of course.
But
Underdog.
when I'm picking this game, I got to go, I got to be right. I got to pick the Patriots. I said the Patriots are going to make it to the Super Bowl. Nothing's going to change that.
I did too, but I've said fuck it.
But
Jacksonville is here. I'm going with them.
To be honest, you picked this game. You had this game when we did our Super Bowl predictions.
Yeah.
You said Steelers, Jaguars, fuck it, Jaguars are going to win. I don't know if you believed yourself when you said that, but you did pick Jaguars and Patriots in this game.
We're here,
so you
man.
Got to give you credit for that, but I'm going to go with the Patriots 24-20. However, I'm going to be rooting my ass off for the Jaguars. I would love to see the Jaguars in their first year with Tom Coughlin at the head of this thing go to the Super Bowl.
And then beat Minnesota.
Yeah, we're not going to know. That's not going to happen.
How cool would it be, though? I mean, I've made my jokes about how this is a terribly boring AFC Championship, NFC
if
Championship.
the Super Bowl's like Jacksonville.
This is boring as hell because, I mean, you got Case Keenum, Blake Bortles, and you've got, what's his name, Nick Foles.
Yep.
And then there's a guy called
Peyton
Tom
Manning.
Brady.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
Nick
Peyton
Foles.
Manning. Then you have this guy called Tom Brady. But, like, if you get a Case Keenum, Blake Bortles Super Bowl,
I'd be more. So here's what I'm going to reference.
it would just be defense. There'd be 3 points scored that whole game.
Sean, after the last games, tweeted out a poll on MVP, Most Valuable Pod. And it said, after next Sunday, what Super Bowl matchup will we see? 48%, you can still vote on this at Most Valuable Pod on Twitter. It's got 1 day left. 48% Patriots Vikings, 36% Jaguars Vikings, 12% Jaguars Eagles, 4% Patriots Eagles. Nobody wants to see the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Like
No.
that's what I am. That is what I'm going at from
Although
this.
I will say, I would love if Nick Foles' career, which was total mediocrity, consisted of beating the NFL record or tying
yeah,
the
with the
NFL
7
record.
touchdowns in the game.
And
beating Tom Brady.
Beating
in the
Tom
Super-
Brady for Super Bowl, probably Super Bowl MVP.
Eli Manning's not the only one that can do it.
Nick Foles is the other one.
He ties.
Well, he is a Manning.
Well, no. He ties Peyton with how many touchdowns in a game, and he beats Tom Brady only like Eli can. And then
Yeah.
Archie Manning adopts him into the Manning family. That's how he
And they can
earns
say-
his adoption into the Manning family.
They'll say, Nick, you are now the third Manning. And they'll all...
Sorry, Peyton.
Yeah,
Or
no,
sorry,
not Peyton.
Cooper. Sorry,
No,
Coop.
exactly. They're going to look at Cooper and go,
Sorry, Coop.
one of us has got to go. It's not me or Eli.
Sorry, Coop. And just push Coop right off to the side. Second game, though. Vikings-Eagles. Vikings are a 3-point favorite. I am more confident in this game, as I should be, in Vikings winning this game than I was last week. I did not want to lose that game, as you knew. I told you till I was blue in the face. Also, first time I've been able to talk about this, and the only one I've told this to is Patrick, because when Patrick called in for the Primetime Podcast on Monday, he asked me about it. Roller coaster of emotions, Mark.
Yeah, you were absent.
No. This is what I was going through. First off, they blocked the punt. I'm low. Very low. Like negative on a scale of 1 to 10. Then it's like we drive down the field. We get the lead on a field goal. I'm confident. I'm like, okay, my defense just needs a 3 and out. We get them to 4th down. I'm sitting there clapping. I'm like, we can do this. We can do this. Of course. I'm like, of course it's Willie Snead that catches it. Who else would catch it? Then they kick it and they go up. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, it's over. Like 24 seconds,
I
it's
will
over.
say, though, I gave you some credit. I'm sitting there with my wife, and I said, I don't know. There's time on that clock. Something's going to go down.
And I was going to get to that. I was down in the dumps. I was Cub fan at this point. It's over. Sky is falling. The worst has probably happened. Sean didn't help. Sean in our MVP text group was like, Vikings blew a 17-0 lead, which I will go ahead and say it. Brandon said that's a shit move. You know Ricky's a huge Viking fan, but Sean,
Hey, I was
get why you
defending
do.
you. I said there was time.
I'm getting to that.
I was defending
going to
you.
say,
I got your back.
Sean, I get why you did it.
Skull Vikings.
But then Mark texts, there's still 24 seconds left. And I will tell you this. When Stefan caught that ball, hit the ground, and turned and was running down, as soon as he touched and was running, I did not see him go into the end zone because I was already halfway down my basement yelling and screaming that we had won. I was already excited because I knew he was going in. So I did not see the original play when it happened. I just assumed that
out?
he was going in, which would have been terrible if he gets tackled at the 1. That would have been terrible. I'm running down screaming and he gets tackled at the 1.
He fumbles it.
Or that. It was
No, he just, flicks it at the 1 yard line and
like the Eagles. Wasn't that a punt return? They did that. Wasn't that Deshaun Jackson? I think it was Deshaun Jackson that did that. But Vikings Eagles. What are you thinking? After I've gone through my roller coaster of emotions that I was feeling.
Yeah.
What do you think coming into this one?
I want to give some credit to Philadelphia. I mean, they have been fighting strong. I mean,
we all overlooked them against the Falcons, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But at the same time, the Falcons certainly helped the Eagles overcome the hurdle that was themselves.
How many field goals did the Eagles have in that one?
And I just kind of, I sit here and I look and I say, could Philadelphia upset Minnesota? Sure, they could. Will it happen? Only necessarily if Minnesota wants it to happen. Like I feel like this is a game where Minnesota, the only way I see them losing is if they manage to beat themselves.
Yeah. No, I could see that. If we are going into halftime up 17-0, I am more confident this game than I was last week because
there's no Drew Brees out there.
That's exactly why. Last week I was always like, okay, we're up 17-0. We played a good half. But the sleeping giant is still there. Like, Drew Brees is going to come around. Nick Foles has to make me fear him because I have no respect. Like, in this game, coming forward, and good thing I'm not playing, I have no respect for Nick Foles. None whatsoever. I am not afraid of Nick Foles.
Nick literally Peyton Manning Foles.
Because one of the main things also in that Viking game last week that helped Drew Brees is once Michael Thomas, and I know how I'm phrasing this. How I'm phrasing this is not what I originally mean. It wasn't a dirty play. But once Michael Thomas knocked Andrew Sandejo out of the game, it was a completely different game for Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. You basically took one of our almost Pro Bowl safeties, I think because Sandejo's not technically a Pro Bowl safety. I think it's Harrison Smith that's Pro Bowl. Sandejo, I'm not quite sure if he's made one. However, he should. He should be a Pro Bowl caliber safety. Once you take him out of the game, it's a completely different secondary for us, which helped Drew Brees. Also, Xavier Rhodes losing his head a little bit against Michael Thomas didn't help either. However, I just don't I think this is going to come down to whichever offense wins against the opposing defense. And I know you're sitting there going, well, Ricky, thanks for being John Madden. But whichever offense can beat the other defense will win. And if the Eagles are forced to kick field goals again, they're not going to have a good time. And all the Vikings need to do is score touchdowns. I see this as a game where the Vikings could score 3 touchdowns, the Eagles kick 3 field goals, and we go ahead and win 21-9. I could see that happening in this game.
Yeah, I think that Minnesota will do a good job. I do think Philadelphia will be around. I can see a 28-21. And I think that Philadelphia will at least make an effort. Mm-hmm. They will be there.
They're in this game. It's not they're going to roll over.
It's not a walk-off type of game. I mean, Philadelphia, a lot of people are sitting there going, Minnesota is better in every single facet of the game here. And I think Philadelphia is going to put up their fight. They're going to be there. It's not an easy walk into the Super Bowl. But, I'm at this point, I saw a miracle happen, and they're calling I'm all in. I'm saying it's fate now. Minnesota's winning the Super Bowl. It's destined here.
They're calling it the Minnesota Miracle, is what they're calling it.
Yeah, it feels too cheesy.
The Minnesota Miracle.
I feel like I have an issue with calling that a miracle type of play, even though I just did it. In the sense of, it wasn't like a miracle that Stephon Diggs caught that ball.
No.
It was,
I think
y'all fucked up.
I think the reason they're calling it the Minnesota Miracle is because the Allen, the play-by-play guy for the Vikings, literally before that play said the Vikings are going to need a miracle here. And then the play happened. So I think they're running
I think it should be called the Minnesota Mistake by the Saints.
The Minnesota Mistake. Paul Allen.
I copyrighted it.
I almost said Pat Allen. And I'm like, no, that's not right.
I trademarked it.
Paul Allen said beforehand of the Vikings are going to need a miracle. That's why I think they're going with the Minnesota Miracle. However, I see this game being, if I had to give a score, I'm going to go 28-12. Vikings. 28-12 to the Vikings. Nick Foles doesn't get into the end zone. They kick 4 field goals. We get touchdowns. We win the game.
That would be fun.
Did you already give? Did I miss you when you gave your score?
I said 20. What did I say? 27 or?
Did you say 28-21? Is that
28,
what you're
21, 27, 21.
Okay.
I don't know which one I said.
I didn't know
care.
officially which one, if that was like your official score or if you were just saying it, but you're going with the Vikings.
I'm rooting for a Super Bowl with teams that don't make the Super Bowl this year.
I find it funny that I picked Patriots Vikings, you're picking Jags Vikings. However, I'm rooting for Jags Vikings.
Hey,
so if that makes any sense.
So am I.
If that makes any sense.
I'm not rooting for the home teams here.
This is where you guys come in, though. Let us know what you guys think down below of the AFC game, the NFC game, how you think it's going to play out this weekend, and who are you guys rooting for? Let us know in the comment section. I want to thank you guys for either watching on YouTube or listening on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, or any other podcast service around the world. Little housekeeping here at the end. If you like what we did here, make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. It's your way to help support us so we can help keep the lights on and also continue doing what we love doing for you guys each and every week. Also, we're selling MVP t-shirts. You want to grab one of those, all the information is down below in the description. Make sure to check out mostvaluablepodcast.com. If you're on iTunes or have an iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. And last but not least, I forgot to say this in the opening, but make sure to click the link and take our MVP survey. We want to get your feedback to help make 2018 a better year for you. Want to thank you guys for either watching on YouTube. Want to thank you guys for either listening on Blog Talk Radio or any podcast service around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.